Brought to you by GFT, worldwide leaders in online currency trading.
Hey there, PFXers. It is time once again for another edition of our FX Scams Alert videos. The reason why I'm bringing this up now, by the way, is that as most of you know, here at PFX we have a lot of educational material. Some of it is fairly basic, so for investors who are just becoming introduced to the Forex market. And we'll quite frequently get emails from new traders because of that information. And one of the things that they ask about are advisory services, newsletters, and the like. And in fact, I kind of call this flow of email my scamometer. And it ebbs and flows. And right now, let me tell you, it's flowing. And it's flowing on specifically one scam that's getting pretty hot right now. Now, just to review, there are a couple of things for those of you who are wondering, well, what's a scam and what's not a scam? There are a couple of really easy signs you can find out for yourself and really identify if somebody has these, if these are all exhibited in their first email to you or their first web advertisement to you, they're probably a scam. And they start with, and they run down a very generic path where, and every seasoned investor will tell you this is not the way that the Forex actually is. The first thing that they'll say is that it's easy and that there is big money. Well, I don't know what your definition of easy is, but when I say the word easy, I'm referring to things that are on the order of sitting on the couch and watching TV or playing with the kids in the front lawn, something like that. The Forex is not easy. Now, it's a lot of fun, and it gets easier as you get more experience, but it's never really easy. There's a reason why professionals are paid as much as they are to manage Forex accounts for institutions. It's not because they don't know what we know. It's because it's a highly specialized skill, and it takes time to acquire. So the second thing is that they are low-risk strategies. This is particularly important with the scam that I'm seeing right now, which is relative to FX options, which most of you know I'm quite passionate about. And in fact, most of us here at PFX are passionate about Forex options, but they are not low risk. You can use them to help to manage your risk, but low risk is a relative term. Low risk, when I hear low risk, I think of treasury bonds, not Forex options. So this is something that will pull a lot of new investors in. The third thing is they'll try to establish their credibility, if you will, by telling you that what they're sharing with you is secret. So a really one that I see all the time is that until now this has only been available to the super wealthy, so those who are in the know, Wall Street insiders, fat cats, etc. Well, the reason why the financial markets work the way that they do, as imperfect as they are, is that they have an unbelievable level of transparency. If any of you have ever run a private corporation, you know that you don't disclose anything to anybody. Why would you? Well, whether we're talking about stocks or whether we're talking about government actions or to a certain extent even other traders' behavior is fairly open and available for us to examine in the market. So there's really not a lot under the sun that's very new, including FX options, by the way, which have been around for a couple of decades. So it's something to keep in mind that there aren't a lot of secrets in the market that have only now been revealed for $59.99 a month. Finally, the last thing that I would say is that they abuse the word they abuse the term leverage, and they use this as kind of a sales gimmick, but even more so than we already see it being used in the Forex today. For those of you who've been in the market for a while, we all know that the leverage rates of 200 to 1 or 300 to 1 or whatever it is, it's meaningless. It's just a sales gimmick. It doesn't actually have any real meaning because leverage is a function of the notional value you're trading versus how much you have on your account available, your account balance. So, and obviously margin. So these three things don't really operate independently. No one would actually use and utilize a full 200 to 1 leverage amount in their entire account. You'd stop yourself out within minutes as the market moves adverse to you. So it's something that they will use to try to say the tactic is don't worry if you only have $500 because you give us half of it, you still have 250, and then you apply 200 to 1 leverage, and you've got a lot of money to invest. So there's no shortage of cash. Get in the market now, and of course make sure that you give us your credit card before you do it. So all things to keep in mind. I have found that one of the best ways to combat these problems, and there are a number of us, we kind of commiserate out there in the market, that unfortunately sometimes we have to share space with these guys, but one of the best ways to combat them is with information. So for example, the takeaway that I would give from today's video is you can find out information for yourself. So if you want to know whether someone advertising to you the opportunities of FX options is legitimate or not, contrast them with information that's provided by the entity that's actually charged by the industry with increasing the market share. So they're incentivized to try to attract investors. Go to 888options.com. From there, you can, this is operated by the Options Industry Council here in the US. They're charged with increasing market share, trying to attract new investors. They do free education. They even do local seminars, actually. You can find out where on their site. You can find a document there called the Characteristics and Risks of Standardized Options. This is a classic. It's something that's been used in the industry and is amended about on a yearly basis just to keep up with developments in the market. That really explains what is an option, now what are the risks of an option. Because that information obviously gives you a foundation to start with as you try to learn how to integrate them in my portfolio, because I need to understand what kind of risk as well as what kind of profit opportunity they introduce into my total portfolio. If you're not getting that or if the information that you're getting in the advertisement does not mesh with that information that you're getting from the industry itself, this is not coming from a brokerage. If it doesn't mesh with what's coming from the industry itself, there is probably something wrong there, and what is wrong is probably that payment that the service provider is trying to collect from you. So be careful, check it out for yourself, and as usual, keep up with the feedback.
Brought to you by GFT, worldwide leaders in online currency trading.
Inevitably, when we do these kinds of things, we get flamed a bit, but never fear, this time I'm prepared, so flame away.